when I got the invitation from Kano Kaita, or rather the notification, I was not quite clear about the scope. The purpose, yes, but the scope. Was it the whole country, economic history of Uganda, or Kisoro? But then, I think yesterday I got the clarification that it is really Kisoro. Now, before I talk about the literature I know, which I hope you will help me to develop, those who are better knowledgeable, I really want to thank again General Sare and UDF, Dr. Katenda. I know you, I hadn't met you, but I know you by name, for they are doing the country, Africa, and even the world a favor. Because since even the Bush, the president has been writing, even as a student. Because the first writing I saw that he wrote was a book when he was in Dar es Salaam. It was called Verification of Franz Fanon's Theory on Violence. And he was using Mozambique, the Frelimo, who are against the Portuguese as an example, as a case study. And then, of course, in the Bush, he wrote quite extensively, and has continued to write up to this day. So that you really have distilled this, I call is really, it should be counted among the philosophical giants of our times. Because there are a number of booklets. In fact, I have some. I wanted to bring them so that I show them to you. And then, of course, some are speeches, there's also a book he wrote, Sowing the Mustard Seed. And the others, which I think the cow was telling us about. But you see that you have been able to distill all this and develop, a coherent philosophy and principles. And what I think is a guide to action, because he's not just a philosopher interpreting history, but he's a practitioner and giving guide to the way forward, especially for Uganda. And as you know, he doesn't look at Uganda in isolation, but as Africa. Now, so really, this should be an occasion, as you launch this, it's also an occasion to celebrate him. Because see, a lot of times, especially for the Gen Z, and one reason I brought all these books because I was told I was going to university setting, so I thought now I should also put in a bit of the literature I know, which could help the Gen Z. Because the Gen Z, I don't know. You say you want us to go, and then what will happen? Are you sure you will manage? You see, there is a book I want you to. I don't know who is the vice chancellor here. I can even send him a copy. The vice chancellor. It's a book written by it's a small book called "Thinking the Future." He's a South African white. It's called Clem Santa with his friend. They wrote a book called "Thinking the Future: Perspectives from the Shoulders of Giants," and he's referring to different the classical philosophers. And his advice is that, you see, we should stand on the shoulders of giants to see further than them. That's the only way we can propel the future forward positively with knowledge. But these guys, they think we were expired. And a giant like this, you don't even want to read his books. I don't, okay, how many of you have read the Sowing the Mustard Seed among you? Put up your hands. Okay, but it's still a minority. You know, for me, when I was given this topic, it was simple, it was easy for me. Because, you know, I first heard about Musevenomics a few years ago. I think I had gone to see General Sare in Gulu, and he mentioned just casually Musevenomics. So I thought, you know, as usual, you know how he is. I thought he was just joking. I didn't know this was a huge project. So when Kano Kaita told me that I would speak, first of all, I'm not an economist, and I'm not a historian. So how can we help you? But anyway, so what I did, there's a friend of mine who I should introduce, by the way, Job Collins Okello. Although he's huge, he's from Gulu, but he's a millennial. He's not Gen Z, but he's computer savvy. So I asked him, my friend, I have this big task. Help me. How do I handle it? So we went on the computer, and I found there is a huge topic. You call it topic on the internet? I don't know what you call it. Called Musevenomics. I don't know whether some of you have found it. Now, this because I asked Karokai, they said, but you man, help me, send me to prepare. He sent me something to. So he sent me some things. But apparently he's not far from me, he's also not knowledgeable. Because I found the whole need. This one, have you seen it on the internet? No, of course not you people. Musevenomics, all the very, very interesting articles which have been put together. So when you ask me for the history, initially I thought it was the history of the country until he explained. So I found I only need to read this article. It was actually, and then I go and sit after that. So once I give you the reference, you can go and read it. Address by H.E. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Stroke, Chairman NRM, to the Central Executive Committee SEC about the economy of Uganda. He gave it at Ibuongo 2018, 23rd December 2018. And let me just show you how really this man makes things so easy. And so he said, a serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. Number one, what was the economy of Uganda like in 1900 at the dawn of colonialism? Number two, what was the economy of Uganda like in 1962 at the sunset of colonialism? Number three, how and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? No, that is Idi Amin's time opposed to Okello. Number four, what therefore was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? Then number five, what is the Ugandan economy like today and why? Then number six, what should the Ugandan economy be like when our country is fully modern economy? So, you see, it's all here. Then he goes on. Since in modern economics we talk of the four factors of production, of land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, we should then ask ourselves the following question. What was the state of these factors of production at each of the 5 stages that we have already gone through? And what will be the state of these factors in the 6th anticipated stage? Is it clear? Is it clear? So, this already really is my lecture now. So the only thing I have to do is now to look at these factors of production as now applied to the challenges that we have faced in Kisoro, and also as applied to how we have taken advantage of them to create wealth, the opportunities that they have prevented. But I wanted to, Ronald, when he was presenting the National Development Plan 4, by the way, I want to say I'm really, very, very excited that you made this presentation and you are here, because when I got this program, where is it? The program, I didn't see NDP3. I mean NDP. Hey, there was the National Planning Authority. I said, but now this, if it's not there, because I'm very close to them, and I want to advise the business community who are here that these people can help you free of charge to develop a business plan. I don't know whether Ronald, do you know me? Have you ever seen me before? Because I used to frequent your offices. But Henry Sebukera knows me, you know him. Plus, of course, Dr. Mwawara. So they helped. I went to them when I was starting to be an entrepreneur. By the way, I had forgotten. I'm talking not as a member of a ministry, a department, or an agency. I'm talking as an entrepreneur, private sector. But the one who is really leaping, I'm leaping. However, so when I retired, and I went to the place where I'm trying to be an entrepreneur, I decided to seek the support of National Planning Authority. So the National Planning Authority helped me and developed for me, of course with my input, a 10-year development plan. Now, it was even signed off by Professor, your boss Mawaji. Now, in her, when she was in her letter, she said she was introducing me to both UDB, UDC, and Yoga. By that time, PDM had not come. And then she said, even the microfinance support center. But unfortunately, wherever I went, I was bounced. Or I would find too many problems. So I have a wonderful plan, but it has not been actualized. So when I saw there is a part in your presentation that of finance, that you have added an element of financing the plan. Please, can you include me? Because it's really a beautiful plan, and they even costed it. It cost 10 billion over a period of 10 years. And my vision is the vision of our company is called Cascading Farm Limited. We are an integrated livestock and crop. Dr. Kateri now I'm mobilizing you also. They are integrated, and our vision is to contribute to health care. You know, Ronald, you talked about preventive health. Preventive health starts with nutrition. What we eat, what we drink. Because it gives us immunity. For example, Father Salvatore, I think you know it, I brought you yogurt. You know yogurt, if the scientists here, they know it. It has what they call probiotic. It has got a name. I don't know the scientific name. But there is what they call flora in your gut. Now, when you keep on taking, especially like alcohol, which has got a lot of toxins, which is acidic, or antibiotics, it erodes the flora in the gut. Now, your gut restores that flora. Because of course with time, you will develop ulcers. That's why you end up having problems, either ulcers or even cancer. So, I'm actually a doctor. But Dr. Katen, you're not supporting me. Now, I have even now, through my contacts with some friends, because I grew some fruits, some herbal, like kitafel. You know, kitafel is medicine. Both the fruit and the leaf for diabetes, and even I'm told cancer. So what I'm doing, and also aloe vera. You know aloe vera. So what I'm doing, I'm extracting juice, adding it in yogurt. That is Ronald. Have you? And you never get diabetes. But I'm not being supported. I'm an innovator. But not only am I an entrepreneur, I'm an innovator. So, please, anyway. The other thing I wanted to add, because you see, we are not talking about Musevenomics. In this paper, on the factors of production, he's adding there's elevated knowledge as a factor of production. I believe, I'm not making it up. I hear the modern economists have added a fifth factor of production, knowledge. These are the factors one needs to produce a good or service. That's true. This is what I'm telling you. You must have the scientific knowledge. Then, the other one, he said, there is, however, another factor that would render these five irrelevant if it is not present, the market. So why, Ronald, you have put the market on the side as an enabler? No, it's the main, according to the president, according to Musevenomics. It's the main factor of production. Because, I mean, if you produce and you don't have where to sell, what's the point of production? So, comrade, you have to adjust your conceptualization to fit in with Dr. Katende. Am I wrong, Dr. Katende? Wonderful. Sorry? Absolutely, and it's true. But now the problem, now I can tell you, you have given me this chance to talk, and there were people who were supposed to talk before me, so I'm taking their time. Now, I have managed to get a market. You know, you're talking about financing, you know, the solving the problem of financing in the plan. But I think it should be very specific. It should be patient capital. We need patient capital. In other words, this is all Nani, just talk. If we don't have, if we have this, the banking system, let us be honest. They are only for short-term economic activities, for traders. But if we are talking about achieving this target of 158 billion through production, through value addition, you cannot do it with the current banking system. No, you are telling yourself lies. So what must be clarified must be patient capital. Minimum 2 years, actually 3 years. Because like Matoki, I've always given the example of Matoki. It takes 3 years to be able to get a bunch of Matoki to carry the market. Now, the money that is available, if you are lucky, they can give you six months. By the way, UDB, which we talk about, that's a development bank, it's not a development bank, it's a commercial bank. I hope I'm not spoiling the party. Because you see, I'm now a practitioner and I'm talking about things I face. Comrades, let's not tell ourselves lies. Yes. I thank you and through you to Comrade General Saleh for what you have. Because what you have done is revolutionary. Because it's what they call, in some places, they call it all society governance. You are involving the people in governance of the country. This is the real democracy, not this election. That's why when you're telling me, I studied from the East. Nonsense. This is the real politics. This is the real democracy. This is where we should put order, and you can see the diversity of us. Because ultimately, it's here determined the material condition. And a lot of these people, and I see some, they are not even here. Why are they not here, comrades? I thought I would find all the members of parliament, all the aspiring members of parliament here. RDC, what has happened? Because you see, the interests are not this. Let's be open. Me, I put aside everything. I had problems that I said, no, I must go. This is it. This is it. This is revolutionary. And I didn't want to applaud you. Now, before I talk about these factors of production, the literally know, and you guys, you people will have to obviously contribute. I didn't want still, because I talk about history, and history is critical, history is important, and you talked about it. But I think I could add on something. See, history, somebody, and it's actually this book where I found it, that history is like an onion. History is like an onion. Now the current society is the surface. Now when you are digging deep into history, it's like peeling off a piece of onion. You remember when you are peeling off an onion, it's like a leaf going off. Now this is what really makes this president, who you people don't seem to appreciate his greatness. When I was doing history, and I hoped Dr. Mateti would be here because he's the one who taught me history. It was patchy. The onion was just, he was speaking, sometimes it is half broken. So they talk about, I don't know, some kingdom there, some kingdom there. It was not systematic. But when you read the philosophy, and that's what I wanted to request Dr. Katende to do, because this Musevenomics is applying a philosophy of the president to the economy, but it's a philosophy that he applied to warfare, to transforming this country from being a failed state. In 1985, Uganda was almost like Congo, with different warlords controlling different parts of the country. If it was not that we had somebody of this magnitude as a leader who stopped all the pretenders and reconstituted our country, instead of being hosts of refugees, would be instead running like you see these are our relatives. Let me tell you, you watch me Kisoro DLG, you know that's where there is this transit camp. Now I see there are few, but sometimes when I come, there are so many who are running away from chaos. And when I look at them, some of them could be my relatives. Could be our relatives, but now they are refugees. Well, we were refugees before 86. All my relatives were, I remember when I was coming on my way to the bush, we were in Kenya. Others were elsewhere. Most of us, Bishop, I'm sure you will testify. But it's because of the philosophy. And this philosophy is what he talks about, which, there are people who are gifted. Let's agree. People who are, I don't know that the comparison with God. I don't think even the president appreciates that, because God is in another realm, and nobody should even. But really, he is an incredible human being, because when some of us knew nothing, the man was already, the cow talked about it, mobilizing his people, solve the problems of his community. He went to Dar es Salaam rather than Makerere because he was on a mission. Because if you read his book, why did he go to Dar es Salaam? So he prepared himself. So we are lucky. I remember one time I visited Zambia in 1988 as an officer. We were going on some kind of trip. And the president had just visited Zambia on a state visit. And so we were in the barracks talking to Zambian officers. Then they said, you people, you have a president. We wish you had this president. No, so you might say, oh, what would you say? What? I'm just telling you a fact. So it's not just because they were simply impressed. And those of you who don't get impressed when you listen to him or read what he writes, I'm sorry for you. Now, I'm saying this to get to the main point, which again will link up to my main presentation. You see, unlike the way we were taught history, and even I don't know now how it's taught, but the president, if you read how he has managed to really have this, he goes back to the beginning of the history of humankind. 400, he begins with the roots. He traces our problems, our current problems, the beginning of humankind, about 5 million years ago. And we are ancient people. We, talk about now, I become local. We are very ancient people. Because we represent a society that has gone through most of the stages of human development. Those who have read the political economy, the stages I'm talking about. The hunter-gatherer, the Stone Age, the Pygmies. The Pygmies were hunter-gatherers, and later on artisans. And Khoisan in South Africa. Those who speak with Greek. I'm told even some of them were in East Africa. Now, Vice Chancellor, this book is very important. It's called Guns, Germs, and Steel. And it talks about, this page is talking about, there is a page which shows, it's not to me, I have no relationship with this man, but he talks about, the chapter is called How Africa Became Black. And look at this. It says above, like Sahara and above, they were whites. See, then below this was about 3000 BC. I mean, our history is wrong. This area was for blacks at that time. And do you know which blacks were? They were Pygmies. See? Aumujoga. Pygmies. At least, see, so that you are my witness. And when I visited Cairo, I visited the pyramids. I found they have got a pygmy god. That's another story. You invite me so that I tell you that story. Because now I've been diverting from the topic. But so now there were migrations between 3000 BC to 500 AD. You should know. That's why the president emphasizes study groups. MC. So, and these were movements from West Africa. That's how we got sorghum and millet here. Pygmies did not have sorghum and millet. Sorghum and millet came from coffee. You always talk about coffee, that coffee is from Brazil. Coffee is from Ethiopia. You people. You see, one thing really that we must celebrate our president. He has really discovered us, our history, and how important we are to human civilization. Yet we are told that we are just, we are peripheral. Sometimes when you go to some of these universities, or Africa doesn't exist. Yet we are the source of civilization. And I hope all this can, that's why I think the Musevenomics should be expanded. Because it is just telling just a partial story. This basis. So all this is because the president educated himself. And if you read his writings, the last one is actually this year, which I read, and he actually brings out in a very nice way, which becomes a background for Musevenomics. He says the NRM, based on his own distilling from history, has got 3 historical missions and 4 ideological principles. These 3, is it still there? When I was IGP, there was a lot of domestic violence here. Or people killing each other over land. From that one to national security, to now strategic security. What he means by strategic security is, you see, and he has always said this, in some of his writings, he says, who will ensure the security of Africa? You see, like Europe cannot survive if the Americans are not there. It can't survive. Russia will overrun them. They are the only ones with the nuclear bombs. Israel, I'm sure you're following the news. They were only able to subdue yesterday the nuclear reactors of Iran. Trump decided, he was just, I think he said, okay. He sent a few, some huge bombs, they call them, bunker what? You are the security man, you know. Bunker breakers or what? Bastards, yes. It goes down deep, even if you are hidden down 100 meters, it will find you there. But it's only America who have it. So now the question he was asking, who will ensure the security of Africa? We are 1.5 billion people in Africa. China is 1.3 or 1.4. Where is the deputy RDC? Is it 1.3 or 1.4? 1.4. Anyway, they are almost the same. America cannot, now we have China. You can't. But you 1.5. My God, you are in this arena. They just speak you like grasshoppers. No more control. So that's what he said. Who will ensure the security of Africa? Number 3. He's talking about historical missions. How to use brotherhood. Uvandimwe. Father Seotwari. Uvandimwe. This is the president. How to use brotherhood, undugu, similarities and linkages among the African people to achieve this. Muri Kisoro turaryana. Can you imagine? So how can this mission shall we ever achieve it? When we are the same people, tuvuga rumwe. Bamwe lese turavukana. Ari ntabwo twareba. Mwiri umuporoso, mwiri umuprotestant. Please read the writings of the Vice Chancellor. I'm begging you. I help you to read them if you listen. But Dr. Cascading is here. So these are the three historical missions. And this one of Musevenomics is to me, but they are all linked. They are all linked. They are all linked. And again, this book will help because it talks about we talk about being different. And even in the president's book, one of the writings is, language. We must let us pay attention to language, names of people, names of places. Yeah? Like he was saying in one of his writings that he met somebody from let me see, somebody from Nigeria in a meeting, and that person that had that here, that person the name he was emphasizing the importance of discovering ourselves through languages. And you are saying, that, okay, let me read this. I think it's better to read this rather than telling stories. This brings me to the third historical mission, using the brotherhood of the African people. I'm emphasizing this, Dr. Cascading, because it's a problem here, but let them not tell you like. Using the brotherhood of the African people to achieve the economic and political integration. The African population is 1.5 billion people, and like what some people say, what the reactionaries say is either similar or linked. There are only 4 linguistic groups in Africa. 4 tribes, if you want to call them. Those who want to use trade. Niger, Congo, that is Bantu and I think that's one group. And this man actually says the same. He even has a map. I'll show it to you. The next one is Afro-Asiatic, Arabic, Nilo-Saharan, Nilotics, Kushite, Sudanic, etc. So then Afro-Asiatic, Arabic, Tigrinya, Amharic. And then Khoisan, who are like Bushmen of Southern Africa. Now, then he goes on. There's moreover, he goes on. He says, apart from the similarities within each language group, e.g. the Bantu, there are amazing linkages between the language groups. Take the Somali word for cow. It is Sa. S-A-A. You know what Sa means in most of the Bantu dialects of the Great Lakes region? Amasha, Nango Amasi, Sa, Obusa, I think in Uganda. It's C, it means cow dung. But you can see there's a linkage, you see the linkage, it's kind of accidental. Not any other dung, not dog dung. It's cow dung. Recently, in the Somali summit, we had a Nigerian commissioner of the African Union by the name of Bankole, a Yoruba. When I asked him the meaning of his name, what did he answer? It means a hard worker in Yoruba. In all the Bantu dialects of the Great Lakes, you know what the verb kora means, to work. So he was trying to see. Then earlier, I met a woman finance minister from Nigeria again, but this time Igbo, by the name Ngozi. When I asked her what her name meant in Igbo, she told me that it means love. You know what Ngozi means in Rutoro? Ngozi. Ngogonza, Jari. Love. In Runyankore, Ngozi means close to skin. The mother, Nambi Muchinyarwanda, Ingobji, means used to carry children on the back. Again linked to love. It is therefore a great betrayal by the post-independence African leaders to fail to unite these similar or linked peoples for their own good, and instead spend so much time talking about sectarianism of religion, or tribe, or gender chauvinism. So, why I'm saying this, you see, that you need to go deeper at least as a real background, is to really justify. Because even, let me tell you, the Bush War, what you're doing is what? Belief in the people, the power of the people, and weaponizing them. Having confidence in ourselves, not looking for donations, begging. The strength is in us. God gave us talents. That's what the Bible says. Now let me be a preacher. Am I wrong? God gave us talents. The Bible is right. He didn't say you get talents from other people, but we don't use them. And the day of judgment, I think many of us are going to get because we don't use these talents. So the president, as I said, all these writings, why they become even more useful to us, especially to you, the next generation. We are going. Don't worry, we are going. But where are we leaving you? That's the question. Where are we leaving the country? And don't squander this. This is gold. This is gold. It's not propaganda, it's gold, because it worked. It has worked. Imagine, I want to ask any of you, who can, before I was to give you 27 guns, rifles, to go and start a war. This is a man who used to carry, even during the minister time, used to carry guns from, it's also in his writings, from across East Africa. And bring and smuggle them inside here. Those who once who they started now president. Dr. Katenda, I don't want to spoil you by bringing politics. But you see, they are connected. To me, it should be political economy. So anyway, at least I was a witness. He went really, it is his thinking that was behind the war of resistance that brought about the peace we are talking about, and even fighting. You know, when these rebels they lost, UPDA, Netarula, Kwena, Konyi, when the former UNLA, when they started in 86, they were saying, you know, we have got so many guns. Museveni started with 27 guns. For us, it took 5 years for us to take us a month to shut up overthrowing. They thought it is arithmetic. They didn't realize that it's actually geometry. It's not so easy. It's not about adding one to one. At any rate, what I'm saying is these writings of the president, which thanks to UDF, you have really combined them. I would like that you go further and really to help even in the schools, I don't know, informing the curriculum. Because that's the foundation. His philosophy is distilled from a correct study of history of humankind and drawing the right lessons, analyzing them, and then learning lessons and drawing a guide for transforming our lives, either in forms of securing us or in forms of making us survive and prosper. So that's, by the way, of contribution to the Musevenomics, which I applaud. Now, coming to applying these factors of production to, I think I forgot to mention, I talked about the three historic commissions, but there were the 4 ideological principles, which I think you already, patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, discipline, and non-conventional democracy such as this. Now, patriotism, we justify, see for us, I remember even in university, we just fascinate. Patriotism is love your country, but we never ask ourselves, why are you loving your country? What is the reason for you to love the country? So the president explains it in his documents. Because it's important for prosperity, for a larger market if you're a producer, an entrepreneur, and also for strategic security. If the Africans can unite, at least East Africa, we shall have a stronger voice, and maybe the people will be careful to play around with us. And we wouldn't even having these problems of Congo. You remember when President Tshisekedi had accepted deployment of the East African standby force across here? Wasn't there peace? There was peace in Kivu. At least we're not getting refugees coming. Because if we're a large entity and a problem comes, then you deploy. He will deploy. Who is the commander? Would you deploy? Yes. The way you would deploy if there's a problem here, for instance. You won't ask anybody. You just, the commander will deploy from Barak. So we'd also deploy across there will be no problem. So this, when he talks about patriotism and Pan-Africanism, it is from the point of view of both prosperity and security. I think I've talked enough of that, otherwise I might overtalk and miss the main point. Now let's come down to applying Musevenomics to the current affairs in Kisoro. But here I will need your help. This should be more of a discussion, I think. You'll help me. First of all, what really I think what I'm required to do is to see how do these principles that you have outlined help us to utilize the factors of production, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors of production to improve our quality of life, of course take advantages of whatever opportunities that are available. As I said, I confess, I really don't, I'm not well schooled with these principles, but generally from what I have read of whatever the president has written, first of all, the first problem is the mindset. I don't know, and you have started working on it. If we can, it's ideological culture. If we can make the people less self-centered, and you remember in the old society, people are not self-centered. Abantu guhana umuganda, guhana umugizi. See, that's a reflection of the values which were based on the idea that to survive, I can't survive as an individual. I need others. Now, the mindset, taking advantage of both the cultural values as well as, of course, our ideology of love. Love. Reverend Bishop Nidinje, when you try to Ambassador Chiza, you remember? he was saying he wants to form, those of us who are 70 years and above, he wants us to, we are wise, so we should come together and help improve things in Kisoro. But to me, they are very intelligent people. Very, very intelligent people. But in what? The deficit is not intelligence or wisdom. The deficit is love, ukundana. And that's the patriotism. Because patriotism at the level of a country starts with at the individual and household level. You're talking about household income. First, let's bring household love. Then income will come. I remember when I was still in government, although I'm still close to government, I used to get reports from here that the men would spend the whole day drinking, the women are working, trying to make money, and when they reach home, the man grabs the money from her. Is this still there? So even when you give money, whether in yoga, whether Dr. Katen, I'm choosing them, these men. You give them, the women are normally more enterprising, more hardworking. The men are drinking. So they wait until they have made the money and they grab the money from them. Because there's no love in the household. I think RDC knows this. So, as we talk about household income, let's talk about also values, household values. And well, that's where, of course, our community leaders, especially the religious leaders, come in. And you, the political leaders. Then, apart from that, there's also the organizational problem. That is turning the vast human and non-human resources in the district into wealth and income for the many rather than a few. When I talk about historically, Roland talked about, he hinted about it. Again, President talks about it. The enclave economy which the British left behind. Of course, before, basically our economy was subsistence economy. There was hardly any trade. I don't know. I need to do maybe Dr. Mateji knows better the history of that time, of this area. Whether there was any money, whether money economy had come in. I know that we had cowrie shells. This miringa, which must have been imported from somewhere. And we had blacksmiths. The father of the late Wavuga, I remember Agira. And Abatwa, I think they used to make pots. But I don't know, it was very, very limited. When the British came, you remember the economy was the three C's and the three T's, which the president talks about. But the only connection, I remember I was a kid here in school. The only connection between that enclave economy of coffee, tea, coffee in Uganda, tea in Toro, copper in Kirembe, because I had a relative there. I used to go and see him and he would take us up and down in the mine. The link between Ufumbila and the enclave economy was the labor that we used to provide. They would go to Kupakaza, Uganda. And at that time, whenever they would come back, they would be, they would be heroes. We'd look at them as heroes. But put them on strides, riding a bicycle. That was the elite. Those ones who were working in in those coffee. But I don't think there was any other serious, except the Wahindi, the trade, which was in Kisoro, those shops. The other day I went to India. I visited India in a town, in a city called Pune. I thought I was in Kisoro because the buildings are the same. So the whatever activity in terms of modern economy, trade, in this case, Africans were the only thing we're aspiring or to be clerks, to go in civil service, maybe professionals, but we're not, the question of entrepreneurship was not there. We're never entrepreneurs. Actually, Idi Amin, after chasing the Indians, whatever is forced, we know there are many. But somehow he opened people's eyes to this area of business that actually, because I remember, of course, he gave these shops of Kisoro. I don't know what criteria they used, but I saw some people owning these shops, but when they used to be primary teachers, and then they would get drunk, and then on their bicycles going home, they say, Tratasha, Wahindi wa Kisoro. And until the stock boat finished during a minute's time. And then, so the Indians of Kisoro now ceased to be. Well, I even remember them, but some of them I even remember them. Now, then smuggling comes in, because there were shortages. Smuggling things from. So that's how Magendo comes in, Kusamula. Those the GNZ who don't know where the word Bayai comes from. It came from that time. Because the speculators were like a tribe. They even had their own language called Ruyai. So that's how things were. We didn't have entrepreneurs here. We didn't have capital. And I believe even the earlier before the Europeans came, even under because this part was, before it became part of Uganda, it was part of Rwanda Kingdom. But even then, I don't think the kings knew about these factors of production. So therefore, and then of course, when we have independence, that's what the president talks about. There wasn't much change in terms of the structure, and you have talked about it. I won't go into it. We did not exploit adequately. There were a few, like the late Mzee had, I think, a mine, Arabandi. Of course, before that, there was a Cypriot called Kikdes. When I was young, he had Kirwa mines, and on Sunday, he would come to Mutorere, Father Sebatware, and then he would be on that slope and start throwing money. And people would run. Imagine they despising us. We have been abused. So in terms of minerals, so it was very limited. Okay, so it was basically subsistence. Whether livestock, whether cultivation, there was it was basically kumusuru. Even this thing, that's what we are together in the very each other to plant and harvest and then enjoy. And that was the end of the story. What the president calls, what does he call it? So it's not only in Usoga, it was also here. Except those elites at least who used to bring some money from the coffee plantations. But now, we have a huge opportunity, really, to me. Let's not talk too much about, if we can solve the ideological problem. Really, I want to Tukafatanya. And our leaders go together with one voice to get us friends. And I think Musevenomics, you can mobilize them. Because I think we have tried and failed. I think you can call them in Guru. Make them part of Musevenomics. And really, let them go there to Kudusakira, to go to Kuduhahira, to get us friends. That's what leadership is about. Then number two, then how do we use our land here? I think, I don't know who can help us, the average size of land ownership here. It's obviously we are densely populated. We are densely populated because the land is very fertile. You know, talk about history. I'm studying this. Why did the British, the Germans, and the Belgians fight over this area? Because of it was conducive for their settlement. I think if it had been under one European power, it would have been like the Kenyan highlands in Kenya. But because it couldn't, they divided. One part came here, another part was taken by, and by not just here, the Kigezi up to Kamwezi there. It's the same ecosystem. And when you are planning for it, you should plan it as one ecosystem. Then another part went to Rwanda. That's why the first pillar for the borders of Uganda is on top of Mount Isabel. I don't know whether you knew this, doctor. You see, I'm educating you now. So that's what makes us very important. Even part of Africa, you're talking about tourism. The name part of Africa came from here. So there's a place where Churchill was brought by the governor, the Kanawa. These are places that we don't take advantage of. But that's when I come talk about it. So, when we are planning, let's know land it's not like Kashagama, where land is depleted, or the cattle corridor. Here, we must have a different model, knowing that it cannot be the economy cannot be land-based. Yes, it's very fertile, but when we talk about agro-industrialization, we must look at what, and that's why knowledge, and that's why I really love the president. It's so clear. Knowledge. We need knowledge. Technical knowledge. About what knowledge and market. What does the market, what can we produce now here that we can market? We have got very good soils, though, although land ownership is small. I don't know who got the idea of bringing in potatoes. They call them Irish potatoes, but they are not Irish. They are Mexican. The domestication of potatoes was by those they call Indians. And then the Spanish got it, and I don't know how they became Irish potatoes. I don't know why they chose to bring Irish potatoes. Are we easy? But can we get more high value, like medicinal plants, medicinal fruits, milk goats. I'm told somebody has done research that goat milk is actually medicinal. They want even to make tablets out of it. Yes, because you see, goat's milk. When I say I'm looking after goats, people laugh at me. Yet I'm more advanced. The goat milk and camel milk. See, they are not grazers. They are browsers. Now, when they are browsing herbal leaves. So that's how the milk is richer. You get it? So don't despise cows, comrades. Sorry, goats. So what I'm saying, we need to optimize this the economy we must plan for, Roland, here for Kisoro, must bear in mind that we must have high value. And the president talks about it anyway. I'm not saying something that is not known. Then number two, we cannot keep on saying that our volcanic soils, oh, you know, they are very fertile, I don't know what. And by the way, these onions, go slow on onions. Now I'm advising you, because onions, you must use fertilizers, you know, insecticides. And these insecticides destroy bees. And apart from the main advantages of bees, you know, for pollination, you know, pollination. And in fact, now Europe has got a problem because of that. Either we use organic fertilizers like cow dung. In fact, I want to propose to the leadership, RDC, poultry. I would like poultry for not only because we get eggs, we get meat, but because of its dung, its manure. I can get you somebody who can help us. Manure. What they do? There's a farm between Masaka and Lukaya. He's got 38,000 chicks, and he is packing manure from chicken. What he does, he gets, you know, dragonflies, the larva of dragonflies. So what he does, he feeds the manure of the chicken on it, and then he gets high protein. And he's selling it to, you know, coffee. It's a coffee boom. So now coffee farmers are buying. The man is making huge money from manure of chicken that the coffee farmers are getting from the coffee. So I'm proposing that one of the projects that you could consider, RDC, supported by, is poultry. Not for purposes of preserving our soils, for the future. And also protecting us from these chemicals which are toxic. The other day I saw an article in the papers that actually these so-called pesticides are actually toxic. So that is one project, for example, you could consider. Number two, of course, the question of land management. I will not go into it. The president has always advised, don't fragment. So in terms of factor of production, therefore, my suggestion is, let us optimize, let us support high value. And we can get the technical, you have told us about getting the plan, then labor, we have plenty of labor, of young people who have no jobs. So the answer, we should be like Japan now. Then we're talking about the knowledge economy. I think Kisoro should, or Kigezi, because for me I talk as a Munya Kigezi. I don't want to, the minimum should be Munya Kigezi, not just, because we're the same, we're the same history. You read Morogoza's book, Kigezi and its people. So, but anyway, in terms of this, we're discussing this, our community here. I'm requesting that Kisoro should be prioritized as a hub for ICT, or knowledge economy. I don't know much about it. The only what I know is ICT. Like, for example, this outsourcing, what do you call it? This
outsourcing. Business process outsourcing.
Yeah, business process outsourcing. Doctor, I'm a general. You want me to go on my knees to beg you that one? I'm now pleading Because first of all, President, he gave us an institute, an advanced institute of science and technology. It was his idea. When I was people who are very selfish. Now they want to forget. Can't I'm safe because after this I will go back to hide in the Kashaga. Yeah, we had finished. We had wonderful list. The team went all over the world and they got the best, including Massachusetts Institute of Science and Technology. I recall somebody smiling, but I don't know how you can help. Then they are making, they put the case on the president. I think Bagamam is hate yourself. It's a name. Weyanga. Now, if you are boring you are also told him to speak, so your business, your fault. But what I'm saying, we can solve, this should be one of the, in terms of comparative advantage. Where there is dense population of youth, instead of youth moving and becoming a problem in Kampala with borders, why can't we establish ICT, these knowledge centers, hubs, so that even the skilling should be focused. It should not just be general skilling, and should be linked with supporting, and it can be a PPP, public-private. And I can offer myself as I've got a small piece of land in Yakabande. I could put it there. I've always been thinking I could put there such a, you can lease it if you want. Seriously, me, I'm serious. I'm not just talking serious. So to start, these kids, instead of killing their parents, so that they sell the land to buy a border to become a problem in Kampala. Let's create a local economy. I'm talking all this because I may never have another chance like this one. Capital. I've already talked about capital. I don't know. I think in the discussion you'll have to tell us how do you solve this problem of capital. Patient capital. Patient capital. We need patient capital. And let me tell you, can I give you free information? The president intervened on this money lenders. But you know that they are becoming even worse. Money lenders. How many money lenders are here? That law is like the Nguli Act. It's not different. So I don't know. We need to solve the problem of capital for production. And I'm using this opportunity to request entrepreneurship. And especially I was very, very much focused when you talked about that your focus for this NPD 4 is agro-industrialization, is value addition. Now, here, I'm not talking about entrepreneurship as a factor of production. This is now initiating enterprise selection, but also organizing ourselves. Because you can't tell me, comrade, you can't tell me that a peasant can be easily turned, especially with such a small piece of land, can easily become an entrepreneur who can benefit from value addition of whichever crop. there are very few people like this young man who has got a cafe. What's his name? There are very few who can be like that. Now, I came up, I think we were discussing with the RBC, and because, again, let me use this opportunity to report, because I'm still also a cadre of the movement. Now, whenever I come, I get some friends, some young people coming to visit me. So when I had come for the fundraising, Remember Father, I came with some friends, young people who were excited, and they came. I remember you hosted them. So later on, they invited me. So I hosted them. And I don't know whether he didn't come, but some friends were here who were there. And they were from different parts of Uganda. It was not just you. So now they think, you see, when they see me with these vehicles, convoy, they think I'm still a powerful man. So they think I talk to the president every day. So one after another, they are putting up there, please tell the president, forgive us on this PDA money. You know, I had a problem at home when I got it, and you know, some of it I paid school fees, I don't know, somebody was sick. Now, am I telling you, some of you were there? Some were from Amorata, others were from Nebi. Now, I realized that actually we may have a problem with PDM. I don't know. You may think that, okay, I heard you say that the problem may be with the elected leaders, but I think it may be bigger than that. Even where the money is not cheated, it's not being capitalized. Because you see, the whole point of the program is to capitalize and monetization also. But if you are lucky, and then again, because of poor, they are just on their own, because you find that somebody, even the one who invests, like there's one who told me, invested in either onions or potatoes, and then everybody in the village did the same, so there was a glut, and the price went down. And the consequence was that even the money they put in, they could not recover it. I can say that because I'll tell you, I produce yogurt. I decided to produce yogurt because of the fluctuation of the price of raw milk. So without guidance. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this to, again, I discussed it with the administration, the RDC, and some other leaders here, that why don't we, so that we help in value addition, why don't we use the cooperative strategy at sub-county level? You create sub-county cooperatives where everybody is a member, and then you then through interacting with you and the whole government, MDAs, they help us this enterprise selection. For instance, one sub-county can, based on comparative advantage, like Uchimbi is very near, is growing coffee. Then you help them with the coffee processing as a community, because coffee is now in high demand. So that now the lowest person who cannot obviously run a factory has a share in that factory. There is beekeeping. I keep bees. Bees. You have so many products from bees, and I'm sure that Kanu Kaitan was telling me the same. We have this forest. Buindi, we are surrounded by forest. Buindi, Mugainga, Echuya. We can now community sub-counties which are there, those cooperatives could be assisted to now have beekeeping. Now, when it needs more advanced value addition and also marketing, you have a union. And then, because I can tell you this from practice, not just here. And then these 24 sub-county cooperatives, having formed a union, also form a circle. I'm saying this because I started, me and the late General Ronda, they are military commanders here. I'm retired, but I made a contribution. We started against odds. There was a radio circle, and it's now the biggest circle in the whole country. And we started. Can you know this? It was in Guru job. It was in Guru where we made that decision. Only 30 started. Now it's the biggest. Actually, I'm told it's the same in the region. In Africa, no, in Africa. It's the 7th now, biggest. The other day, they were distributing dividends, 89 billion, was without even me, and I only paid 20,000 shillings only. Actually, the lower, you big men may not think I'm a hero, but when I meet these small soldiers, ooh, I'm a hero. And I can tell you, Bishop Kurama, I'm not being blasphemous. If there is heaven, I must go to heaven. Because of what I did for my comrades, the UPDF. I'm happy. And there's no doubt that General Ronda is in heaven. No doubt. Otherwise, there's no heaven. Otherwise, they are telling us lies. Yes. Father, don't excommunicate me. So I'm talking from practice. The only thing, the last meeting which I was telling them, and now and they have bought it. I said, but now, look, you have put the money on a fixed deposit in Post Bank. It's earning interest, no problem. Then you have also put more in housing finance. It's earning, that's how we earn this, that's money. But now, for my yogurt production, I go to Post Bank for a loan on market rate, and they refuse to give me my money. They say, no, you must fulfill this, my money. So I was advising, and you could help. And I'm sure you can. In fact, I'm sending you here as a comrade to General Sare. We discussed it even with some comrades during the Heroes Day recently. We can use this money, it's in trillions, which arrange the budgets of some of the ministries. We use the money as security, I think you know that, and then we get patient capital to support agricultural enterprises, to get patient capital. So that some of the money which is given to UDP can also be given to Wazalendo Sako. Now, that's the concept I had, that we could do the same here. And actually, we even proposed the name, Ufumbira, Tukifatanye Cooperative System from the societies. Actually, that gentleman helped me, Prince Job Sada. He's very, very good in conceptualizing systems. So he helped me come up with that, and I handed it over to the RDC. I said, please RDC, there's this good idea. Why can't we now organize our people to benefit from value addition, whether it's agro-industrialization. And there are many, because here, I've talked about the human resource. These people are very smart. One of us is directs spacecrafts to the moon in America, in NASA. So the question is not that you have brilliant kids. But then we also have, as I said, agro-industrialization. If we use this method of the cooperative strategy, you can fine-tune it. You can help us fine-tune it, both you and Nani. Then we have these societies of Fumbira to Kifatani, and that's also borrowing from our own customs. Kifatani, come together. Then we have the union, which would be now handling the higher level of value addition, and also marketing and linking up with people like yourselves. And then you also have the societies now own this create a circle. And from what I hear, I hope the governor is coming, because from what I hear, while microfinance support center will not give a company like ours a loan, but there is money for cooperatives. Even Postbank, I'm told, for cooperatives. So, which will obviously would be patient capital. So, this circle would be supported. Even it would be more successful than there was a Rendo circle, from the way I look at it, because there is no money available. But don't forget what the Rendo, please. Now, so tourism. The other day, I had never, since I was born, I had never taken a boat ride on Lake Mutanda. See, I don't know why, because I used to climb that hill, the area Sesame, but I don't know why I never sailed on Lake Mutanda. So the other time, I think it was the chairman, I had some visitors from Turkey. So we said, my God, what a place. There is no place like that in the whole world. There is no place like Mutanda in terms of tourism. When you are there, you see all the volcanoes of Congo, of Rwanda, the Wazungu, they could not believe it. In fact, one of them is saying he wants land to build a lodge. So I'm saying, why can't we have a cooperative? See? The cooperative. Now, or rather, one of these cooperatives, like the one of Nyanam, that near Chi. Chi is where? Is in which sub-county? Chinam. Why can't we give capacity to that sub-county Chinam? To benefit from tourism of Mutanda instead of other people. I'm told there are executives who come from America and they hold meetings in the middle of Mutanda. There is something special about that lake. And they have a meeting and they are happy. But that money goes to a German, some Germans, or a few Ugandans. Why can't it go to the people around there? Why can't we organize ourselves? Dr. Kateni, am I dreaming? I'm talking to you. Our government was about to you. But are you people getting me what I'm saying? Why should an individual benefit? This is the heritage of God gave us. Where is Louise? I didn't know there were mummies. Do you know that we have got mummies like in Egypt? Yes. These Bahis are the ones that they are the original people of this place. Louise is their survivor. He took, my God, I could not believe that they used to bury in Nani. I don't know what technology it was, but it's similar to the one of Egypt. And people rush to Egypt. I think 20 million every year, going just to see things like this. I'm told the tourists have stolen many of them. So we can bring in the Ministry of Wildlife. They take it over, they preserve it. There's a lot of issues. They took me to another place called Chambers. That these guys, when they used to conspire against the Wazungu, used to hold their meetings there. That even Patrice Lumumba used to come here. Louis, is that what you told him?
Yes, sir.
Actually, Louis should be, I think you should link up with Dr. Katende. Am I not marketing you? No, but see, let's stop this joking. We have resources, our people should not be poor. I normally joke, past Mateki's house, there is my neighbor. And then, there are these kids, of course, when we joke, the soldiers are singing, so they attract the children. Then look at the children, my God. In this era, 21st century, first of all, nutrition is wrong. We better start there. The nutrition is wrong. The quality, and of course it also affects. Recently, I read a report that Kisoro has got the most stunted children in Uganda. Where they can what? Really? Namasaka yatu. Masaka is the most nutritious grain after then millet. I call Mumaje Mumonde. Bishop, Mumaje Mumonde. Imondi Namas. So now the children are starting. No? Really? And how many leaders? I don't know how many members of parliament. Oh, thank you. I'm glad but you have just come. I was hitting at you. But Akafes is my friend, she's good. No wonder she's the only one here. You see, I'm putting you on spotlight because we cannot have stunted children in Fumbira with our soils, when we used to produce giants. This place was producing giants, intellectual giants, and they're still engineers. You see, actually they're still there, but I don't know about Gen Z. Because Mutore, which was my school, but I'm told it's pulling up. Yeah, but there's a problem of stuntedness, apart from anything else. But that shows you the quality of the economy. Now, on entrepreneurship, I would like you, RDC and the leaders, let us embrace the cooperative strategy. Because that's the only way we can have value addition. The lowest person can have value addition, can benefit from value addition, agro-industrialization, tourism. Nyanama. Oh yes, Nyanama, of course. And that place is beautiful, my God. There is even another place where I'm told there is a hole which is bottomless. People come from all the way Europe to come and see. I've never been there. It's near there. You see? So tourism. So all this, but that's entrepreneurship. How do we organize ourselves? And I would like really the churches, the mosques. You must come in. You are the community leaders. And you see, you are very influential, even more than the political leaders. Come in. The other day I was quarreling. Look, I don't know, Akifeza, how you feel. I'm sorry for you. That's why for me I can never go to you. I am not in politics. Yet you find I have got a hip. Not only here. People want me to fundraising. Fundraising has become fundraising. So the other day, I must report myself. I quarreled when they invited me to launch an album here in Kisoro. And I was complaining, but here you people. Okay. I quoted Mother Teresa that give and it has. But you see, you can only give what you have. Now, if I don't have, so why don't you stay? Why don't you help us to generate wealth? And then we shall support the church, we shall support the mosque, we shall support the politicians instead of the other way around. So that we will make them accountable. So, what should come first? And the way we have, Bishop, is we have put the cart before the horse. And it's so sustainable. No, kababukire, utazongera kunyakura mu fundraising zone. I'm not coming. Otherwise, I'm going to be broke. I'm telling you. And that club is not even mine alone. So let us generate wealth. Let it be the message in the churches. And Father Salvatore, I want also to tell you that I challenged you. That group of choirs, I decided, okay, by Hene, Sate goes and you go. Boer goods, not these ones. They are expensive because one bag is 1 million. Cheapest, that's the cheapest. I'm the cheapest. The female is 500,000. So when you add them up, that's quite something. But the condition I've given them is, let them ask the church, because they are serving the church, to give them land so they can plant coriander, nimivumu, to feed them. So I have done my part to God. So the church also, you do your part to God by helping them. Yes, because you see, let us be in front. Let us we are one. We are one. Just with that message. I want you to be one. To fight again, to correct you, to fit for the benefit of everybody. Why are you selfish? Because what you have can feed us. And you can live a very good life. We are at the border. Very soon. Now, there are people here, they want all sorts of things. Suggest that we have a problem, it will be solved. We are this border, we are here. So, I'm requesting that let's get organized and not be selfish. Tufatanye according to Sanjay. And the government will help us. Because you see, Nichindi, let me tell you, government has brought all these programs. You see, Dr. Katen, it's like when it rains, and instead of having a tank to receive the rain, you have a basket. So that's why these programs have not worked, because we have not organized to receive. Because they are meant to be, they are not charity. It's entrepreneur. They must find entrepreneurs. We're an organization of entrepreneurs. I've talked about knowledge. We need support. Market. I think if we get organized, I am very, very sure. If you have these cooperatives, and the president comes this way, and with the support of UDF, I want you, since you have started with us, make us a model. Really, make us a model, and we are ready. Let us be a model. Bufumbira has always given the president, has always appreciated Mzee. Ijana kuijana. This time is our Maganabili kuri Maganabili. And I want to request the Honorable, please, give us leadership, unite us, for our benefit, because you are our leaders. Why? Others want to go, they have one, there is 100 million, and that's what is taking them there. That's being Judah Iscariot to the people. That's what the president is talking about, betrayal. The betrayal of the post-Paris leaders who were excited with power, which they didn't even have. And they never served the interests of the people. You see, I think Vice Chancellor is going to be my friend. We are going to be, as well as, of course, other schools. I think I have taken more than the fair share of my time, but I hope I have made a contribution. I hope, you see, as I end, I want to request really from government, and unfortunately you have not highlighted it, getting things done. Yes, UDF from the side has shown the way. You see, we are very good at talking, We are very good at writing, very brilliant, but getting things done seems to be a problem. To get things done. The Chinese, you can hardly get, like, you see, I'm talking so much. I think the Chinese will hardly talk, but see, they are taking over the world. You know? But I think what we need to do is to get things done. As one of the, it's a deficit, something we need to work on. Even if there are few. But let us identify them, the ones which will make a difference, and put them into effect. Because really, the thinking has been done for us, the planning has been done for us. You can see my very, very impressive plan. But always, the problem we always had was a disconnect between the planning and budgeting. As you say, you're going to solve it, that's not my business. Me, I'm talking from a private sector. If you can attract for us patient capital. I thank you very much for this opportunity. I thank you for listening to me. Me, I'm committed to the lowest person because I know what it means. Because that's where power lies among our people, the ordinary person. Let us weaponize them like we did, and we change the course of history, not just of Uganda, but of the region. Thank you very much.